Hey guys, it's Graham. What's cracking? I was just talking for a minute and a half and didn't even have my recorder going. Fantastic. Over the weekend, I was planning originally to sneak out and see Thunderbolts, but I talked myself out of it just because I had a lot to catch up on at home and I didn't even get it all done. I was planning on doing some shorts of like book reviews that I could put here and on Insta and on other places just to try that out, see if I can get some more reach. Not necessarily for like, oh, you got to grow the channel and make money. It's like the whole point is to just share things that I like and boost the signal for books that I've read that are good. And apparently, with the short format, like you've kind of got to go that way. And for all whatever faults and flaws TikTok has, at least people who read books are on TikTok. Now, granted, most of what they read is yeah, but I digress. Anywho, I didn't go out and see Thunderbolts. I had a couple of inches worth of comics sitting on my desk that I still had to get to. And I didn't read all of them, but I caught up on some of them. And one of them that I read was, well, let's talk about it. So this book here, the series is ASTROBOTS. It's a series of comics. The trade paperback was supposed to come out in January. I put it on pre-order in December when I first heard about it. I didn't hear about this series when it was running. I think it started in 03, or excuse me, in 23, and so then in late 24, I heard about the trade. I was like, cool. So I put it on pre-order, and then it got bumped from January to February. I was like, oh, okay, sometimes that happens. And then February comes up, it gets bumped from February to August. So, geez, all right, fine. I guess I'll have to wait for it. And then a month or two after that, it got bumped from August to December of 25. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Obviously, there's some publishing shenanigans going on in the background. So I went and canceled the pre-order, and I just found like the publisher's website and paid the $4 per issue for all five and the shipping, and I was like, whatever, I'll just buy the issues. The cover for the trade looks really, really cool. The main artist for the series, his last name's Trunick. For some reason, the cover A on all of these issues was not drawn by him. Trunick did the cover B, and I was like, dude, the B covers are way better. There were variant covers for all of these issues, and I don't know why they didn't have the main artist's art as the primary cover options for these. Like the cover A's were fine, but you stack them next to the cover B and it's no contest, especially with what the interior art is. And these books were written by Simon Furman, who has decades of experience writing for Transformers comics. I've read a bunch of his stuff over the years, usually in the form of trades. Like I said, I've never been a single issue collector, at least not until late 2023 when the Energon universe kicked off. That's when I first started a pull file, and I've been just buying comics every week or every other week since then. And it's been a great hobby to get into. I've really enjoyed it. But for most of my life prior to that, if I wanted a book, I would get the trade. Usually I would find out about it after the trade. I wasn't one of these like keep my ear to the ground and find out what's coming out this week type of readers. But Simon Furman wrote Transformers for a long time, and this book is obviously like influenced by that type of writing. Let's have warring factions of robots on another planet. But other than that, like that's where the similarities end. So he's leaning on his strengths and on his experience, and then going from there to make his own thing. Astrobots are robots built by humans to terraform raw planets out in the cosmos, and then once the planets are ready, humans will send generation ships and hibernation ships full of passengers to these planets to move in. Now, like I said, there are 5 issues of this first volume. I didn't want to just blitz the first volume all in one. Like I read issue 1 with all of my other reading that I did on Friday night. And I was like, cool, I'll pause and not drink from the fire hose, as it were, because that's a good way to kind of get tired of it. But it was fantastic. I really loved the art. Trunick did a great job. The character design on these bots was amazing. And the plot is, well, let's get into it. So the book starts with this main city being developed, and it's just about open for business, as it were. They're going to to receive a colony ship in about a day. The robots all have names, kind of like in the what's the name of that? The alphanumeric alphabet. Like A is Alpha, B is Bravo, C is Charlie. But the main robots are all A names. Like the boss of the city, his name is Atlas. His head of security's name is Argus, and then there's a mystery character that wanders in from the dust named Apollo. And as they get this city up and running, they're dealing with rebellions from kind of lower working class astrobots down at the street. It's not exactly clear what it is that they're fighting against, but it's hinted at in a way that you're like, okay, whatever face Atlas is putting on this, there are deeper things going on in this city as they're waiting to receive this first shipment, we'll say, of human occupants. The Astrobots, size-wise, I'm not exactly clear on their dimensions, but I get the impression that they're 2 or 3 times taller than a human being. So there's that. But near like the 2/3 mark of the story, the city is built kind of in the middle of a desert, and there are guards at the walls, and they're looking out into the perpetual sandstorm of this desert, and a robot comes wandering in. He's an older model. He's got a cloak around him. He seems a little bit dazed. He's unclear about the date and stuff going on, and that there are other things going on out in the desert and in the untouched wilds, as it were. And that's Apollo. And he's surrounded by security, but he's able to beat them all back. And there's some mystery, there's some intrigue. Again, the character design was fantastic, the art was amazing, and probably like the most important of all, it's like we're getting more robot comics. Like that's my jam. I've always been a mecha head. Transformers had a lot to do with that, and it's really cool to see, with all of his experience behind him, Simon Furman leaning into that and then doing his own thing writing wise. I'd never heard of Trunick before this, but he just does a fantastic job with the art, and he did the B covers for issues 1 through 4. He didn't do a cover for 5. What I'm learning as I go on to read comics every week is that sometimes, and I'm a writer myself and an artist, I understand how this can happen. Sometimes guys fall behind schedule, and they've got to do something to fill in to stay on schedule. I'm betting that that's what happened with Absolute Batman issue 4, the one that I've complained about, where the writing was still done by Scott Snyder, but the art was not by Nick Dragotta. It was somebody else. And it just seemed kind of wildly off track from everything else that was going on in that series. And I didn't care for the art at all. What I'm guessing is that Dragotta had his hands full with either issue 3 or issue 5 or something, and they said, okay, well, we'll just call an audible on this one. We'll do a fill-in issue, and you can really stick the landing on the final arc for this. Nail issue 5 and 6, and volume 1 will end fantastically. Shot in the dark, I'm assuming that's what happened. I wonder if that's not what happened with the cover for issue 5 of this, where Tronic wasn't able to do one for one, or for some reason he just didn't do it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, we've got 5 issues of great art by this guy, and I'm very excited to jump in on these next ones. So, canceled my trade paperback of that one, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to order these through my local store. I mean, not just in the name of saving on shipping, but like, I like to support that place. I've been going there for about 1.5 years now. I still don't know the owner's names. It's a family that runs it. It's pretty cool. I know one of their names, and the dad is real professional. I was there on Saturday with my kids. I took them for free comic book day, and they were bugging me to buy everything they looked at. And my son was like, "Can I buy something?" I was like, "You don't even know what you want to buy. You just want to spend money." And I was trying to explain to him, like, "This is a bad habit to get into, dude." But he bought a Lego thing, and he's like, "Can we build it together?" He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure, we'll build it together." But as I was walking around with my kids, I saw the shop owner, and like, normally I stop in when I finish my route, because the store is like on the way back to the terminal, and so I'm in my work uniform. But he saw me just kind of in in civvies, as it were, with a hat on and glasses. He still recognized me. I have a beard that's like pretty recognizable. He's like, hey, what's up? So cool place, and I like supporting it. We had a great time on the free comic day. I grabbed another title off the shelf that wasn't a freebie, but the title alone grabbed me, and then I checked the art and I kind of flipped through it. And I was like, all right, this might be right up my alley. It's called Moonshine Bigfoot. I'll get into that in another time this week. Anyway, most of the print reading that I've been doing this year is in comics. And this is going to seem maybe kind of light to you guys, but we got to the end of February, or end of April rather, and I've only read 28 books this year. It's an average of 7 per month. I normally read like 120 books a year, and I guess, well, this puts me on track to read 84 in the entire year of our Lord 2025. I'm not bothered by that. It's just something that I'm noticing, but I do feel like I'm in a bit of a book hole when it comes to audiobooks. I've got plenty of stuff to read in my Audible list and with my library apps and stuff, but I just haven't really felt the pull to read it, which is weird because I know I need to read books to have something to talk about on the channel, but I don't want to just force myself to make content for the channel to be a slave to the algorithm or whatever. That's what I've said before. Like, I'm not trying to just make videos for the sake of making videos. Like, the whole point is to be excited about something, to be passionate about something, and share it on that basis. So with all the comics that I read over the weekend, ASTROBOTS seemed like the right one to tackle here. You'll have to find it on their main publishing site. Maybe I'll look that up and share the link below. But I really enjoyed it, and I'll read the next several issues and kind of do a summary video when I get to the end of it all. I won't do like videos one by one. But great stuff. More, please, definitely. All right, drive safe. See you out there.